Boom. We're there. We're there. We're here. We've
live?
arrived.
We're live. We're
I think
here.
so. And I think
Okay.
all of the audio is even working.
Hey.
Oh,
Awesome sauce. Hello everyone. This is High Shelf Gaming. I'm Katrina. I'm running Shadowrun tonight for the crew. I got Mike and Casey and Ethan. This is going to be our second time playing Shadowrun, but these are new characters and not pre-generated characters. So chaos will ensue. We will try to
We will
go
make
with
sure of that.
yeah, we'll try to go with the rules as written, but probably just do a hand wave a lot.
You know,
Coming up this week on High Shelf Wednesday night, we're playing Brindlewood Bay. Myself and Ethan playing that with Mike, who's our normal Wednesday night DM. This Friday night, I believe it's still on the schedule. We're playing original D&D.
oh yeah.
Ethan's playing that with some of the Jabroni crew, and David will be here, and Rich will be running that. And then we will be back Saturday evening to play Aegon.
Yep.
yep.
That's
busy
It's
week
Busy week.
for all of us. So that'll be fun. I don't know if there are any other announcements.
I don't think so.
Barring catastrophic failure on my end, we should be back to Mass Effect next Friday.
Next Friday.
Not this Friday, but next Friday. Yep.
Next Friday. Yep.
Yep. So this week, come for the OD&D. Next week, stay for the Mass Effect.
Yes.
That's right.
Which Casey and Ethan are in. Okay. So since this is our first game, things to remember: we use veils and lines. We all filled out the survey. I've talked to people that needed to be talked to because no, I'm kidding. We do use the X card system, so feel free to put an X up in the Twitch chat or the Roll20 chat or Discord. And also, like, if you don't feel comfortable coming to me about with an X card thing, buddy system, and someone will let me know. Don't be worried about doing that. Also, for people watching at home, it's okay if you need to bail out of the game because of something going on. We understand, and we don't, we want you to be safe. So don't worry about that. We normally play with this crew, so we kind of already all know our veils and lines. So nothing really that I needed to shout out there. You guys have any questions for me before we get into kind of this deal?
I think I'm good to go.
Yeah, let's go. Let's boogie oogie.
Sweet. So one housekeeping thing that I have not told you until now, mainly just to mess with your character sheets, is that you all have a fixer that is a loyalty 2 and a connection 3.
Oh, okay. Where are you?
And I will open up the Keeper of Legends real quick so that I have my own info.
No, that's the wrong one. I have 2 Roll20 windows open tonight, which is exciting.
Look at you.
And even though one of them has a character sheet plastered all over it, I still clicked on the wrong window. I think I already have that in, maybe. No. Yes?
It's Betsy Wright. First name Betsy, Betsy. Last name Wright, Wright.
And what's her numbers?
She is a connection 3. No. Right? Is that what I just said?
Yeah,
Loyalty
connection
2,
3, loyalty
connection
2.
3.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Her name is Betsy what?
Wright. Wright.
Like the brothers.
Yep. Betsy has been working with each of you differently. She's gotten you decent jobs. None of them have backfired in your face, which, fingers crossed that keeps happening, but you never know. She's been reliable. The jobs have paid well. And so when you get a call from her, it's a good day. And so the four of you have each received a call from her, which instructed you to meet, that if you wanted a job, that you need to meet at the Red Rement, which is a restaurant and bar in Puyallup. Puyallup? The Barrens. Puyallup Barrens.
Sweet.
Hotel.
For those new to Shadowrun, well, which is most of us, the Barrens are a part of Seattle that the poor and ostracized live in. Sometimes it has running water, sometimes it has electricity, most of the time it doesn't. Both there's the Redmond Barrens and the Puyallup Barrens. Both of them kind of have a toxic, well, sludge isn't the right word, but like they're radioactive. Some might call them a radioactive city occasionally. So, oh, I thought you said something.
No, I was laughing.
So that's because nuclear plants and other industrials and things like that are there. It had both barren areas had a hard time in the 2020s, just with, all the world going to shit. So the Red Vermint is a restaurant and bar that is in the Puyallup Barrens. This is the first time that you've gone to a meet here. But you have certainly heard of the place before. It's owned by a man named Calvin Holdass. Yep, you heard me.
Okay, I was like, y'all heard that, right?
Mm-hmm. Calvin Holdass. And yeah, then he runs the Red Rement. And the meet is like at 6 p.m. on like a Tuesday night. The fun thing about the Red Rement, which is just a fun word to say once you say it a bunch of times, is that it has a very nice, interesting architecture to it. And if you're in Roll20, you should see the picture of this strangely roofed building that looks like it's almost has a hat on it. Brick facade, except for a couple places where it has paneling and big windows.
Is that a Pizza Hut?
Yes, it
That's a
is.
Pizza Hut.
I love it.
But this is a lovely like American food, soy mainly. Everything's made of soy nowadays. Kind of family, but you don't often see a lot of families there, sort of restaurant and bar. Occasionally
If you're here, you're family, but you may not bring your family here.
You might not want to, so you don't often see children there. But you have heard of it as a place that runners hang out or go to have meetings. Meets. And so you've been asked to be there today. And when you get there, it's pretty dead for 6 p.m. on a Tuesday, but that's okay. Who knows when the clientele shows up? Maybe it's a lunch place. Who knows? But it does look like they have back rooms. And depending on what you're wearing to this occasion, the waitress might take you to a table or perhaps take you to another part of the fine establishment. So let's start with like a main description of each person. And I'm going to start with Ethan because I know he's had this character in his head for
That's true, yeah. I do have a
while,
pretty good image. So I'm playing Whiskey Jack, who is a shaman on these streets, these tough streets. Whiskey Jack is Lakota. Is like, his race. So he has like, the darker skin And his hair would be in braids. It'd be long, kind of deal, and he'd have a lot of like feathery adornments and things like that. But then his outfit is very much on the other side of that spectrum, being like kind of this like just dark black kind of like overcoat, all very like cloth kind of stuff. Maybe a little bit in like the techwear scene with some like diagonal lines and stuff going down stuff, but very like monochromatic black. And he has a red beanie. That's why I'm wearing. But yeah, and he has like some face paint kind of stuff going on, and he's got his like foci, his magical foci, kind of hanging around his belt.
The hostess would ask, table for one or table at the bar?
That's an interesting question. There are more coming. Does that help?
Table at the bar.
Table at the bar. That's interesting. Sure.
Yep. And so she will lead you past the bar to a back room. That is, the door is open right now, but can easily be closed. There's a table that seats probably about 6 to 7 folk. And in the middle of it, there is like what we would think of as a sound speaker, but some kind of mechanical device in the middle of the room. She gestures for a seat. And what do you want to drink? Do you want to drink?
I think I'll have a whiskey.
All right. Someone will be right back with that. And she'll leave.
Also, Heather, I've noticed on my character sheet, I have to make a will save to not prank somebody if they give me a golden opportunity. So I just want everybody to be aware of that do not leave yourself open, because it will be difficult for me to resist. And as a character trait, I can't help it.
What?
Fabulous.
This is my look. It's my spirit guide that tells me to do these things, and that's totally normal. Totally normal.
Can't
It's
wait for
totally
that.
normal to have the voices in your head to like, you should do it, do it, do
I think
it.
I think it specifically says like benign pranks. Like I'm not like gonna be, ooh, what if I tripped you when you were running for cover? Like no, that would suck. But it's more like,
Yeah, what if I gave you shots of gasoline instead of whiskey? Yeah, like this.
Yeah, I think it's like what
It's
is
a
it?
negative quality, I assume.
No, that's my mentor
it's
spirit.
your mentor spirit. Well,
Yeah.
which is a quality. So,
Yeah,
what spirit did you take?
the coyote, the trickster spirit.
Nice.
Oh, those are in a different section because, of course, they would be.
Yeah, I can't remember where exactly it says that though.
The book, guys, is just so fabulous. I would never say anything horrible.
They only have
against
like
it.
6,000 pages. You can't expect them to fit everything in close proximity.
Everyone was like, God, the cyberpunk book is so big, and I present to you
Yeah, you know what? I'm not
Shadowrun
gonna.
40.
I'm not gonna complain about Cyberpunk.
Ethan, I will let you find it, and I will stop looking for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to do that.
But I do, but I think it is there, so I get you.
Yeah, I don't know if I copied it, but it is like a will save. I don't know what the thing is.
Cool. How about next we go with author?
It's on page 201 and it's Trickster.
Okay. I'm gonna go get it.
Arthur?
Author?
Oh, sorry. I thought we were going in an order across the top.
Nope, there isn't an order because I'm not looking at Twitch. So.
Surprise!
Oh, okay. So author is the next to arrive. He's wearing a nice suit, one that would work just about anywhere, nice, casual, relaxed suit. He looks something between James Spader and Stargate and David Bowie, young David
Wow.
Bowie. Really kind of he does have a longer hair, currently has glasses, and looks around. And we've So I'm going to guess. You said we've all worked with another one of us before.
Yes.
So I'm going to assume that we're coming in the order that we know each other, as though I know Ethan's character and whoever's coming next knows me, as opposed to we're just going to randomly go into different areas.
Why are you playing Meta Ball?
Okay, fine.
But
So-
also, yes, I was going to have Whiskey Jack. So
Okay. I was assuming and was trying to make your life easier, but we can go the other
I
way.
mean, you
if wanna
gave
go
away my
that way.
plan out loud, sir. Like, it's not obvious, audience. Mike and I are married, so
I mean, we could start the ball rolling now.
so the hostess is table for one or table at the bar.
He'd smile at her, kind of look around, see Whiskey.
Well, Whiskey's in a back room.
Oh, he's in a back room.
Mhm.
He's like, I'm supposed to be meeting a few people here.
Table at the bar.
Table at the bar.
Mhm. And she will lead you back behind the bar area to this room. You do see Whiskey Jack there. The two of you do know each other. You've done a couple of runs together in the past. And as you guys are as they're coming in, the waitress that brought you a whiskey is coming out. Whiskey Jack. So
I'm holding it with
Awesome.
both hands.
Got the.
Hi.
He's gonna win Whiskey. I look at the young lady and I suppose I'll have one of what he's having.
okay. And that she'll leave you to it and have signal the waitress to get a drink for you.
Okay.
Hi, Arthur.
Hi, Whiskey.
How have you been?
Fine. Wait, would he have preferred Whiskey or Jack? Because Arthur would have asked earlier.
Probably Jack.
Right. Okay. So then he would have referred to Jack. So, Arthur, you would know, is not a talker, so he just goes over and takes his seat and relaxes.
Whiskey Jack would ask you a question probably at least once every 10 seconds.
As that happens, the waitress comes back in with another whiskey for Arthur.
You're gonna need to make this a double. Forgot
Okay,
who I
sir.
was in here with.
It's really benign questions too. It's like, how's Trix? How's the weather?
Mike, JR would arrive next.
JR is an elf. He's mid 6 foot range, slim, big long ears, black hair that's like mostly teased upwards. He's wearing like shiny gray like sharkskin slacks and like a red like fake velvet jacket with like a silk scarf.
Wow.
Ethan,
And
I
he'll
need
arrive
you
with like
to
a pair of sunglasses.
bring up JR's picture and show it to the world,
Oh, yeah.
if you don't
I can
mind.
find it. I'm actually getting a lot of like broken. Oh, I can't see it actually.
Even as your character?
Oh no.
No, it's not in my journal, so I can't view it on Roll20.
Oh, the handout isn't public.
I was trying to show your character sheet to players. I guess it didn't work.
Oh, wait. I don't see it.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot to mention also Whiskey Jack is an elf.
And Arthur is human, I believe.
Arthur is elven, but
Oh.
isn't so blatantly so. Like you couldn't tell. He doesn't have any traits or anything, but he looks, he could pass. He's got long hair, so his ears are hidden.
But the fabulous JR is definitely an elf with how long his ears are. Or he's a poser elf, which is also possible.
Would never.
How
Never.
dare I?
Yeah, no, he will probably come in, take off the sunglasses, have like the waitress at the front like barely stop moving when he's talking to her.
Mhm.
And like a lot of questions like, yeah, no, you're here for the party. Gotta get, first thing. It's supposed to be
And
nice.
should just
Gonna be hanging. Yeah.
meeting a group of people.
Yes, like he is like the overly social barrage that just like
Okay.
assaults whoever he is
Yeah,
focused
she
on.
wants to get rid of you quickly. So she
Yeah,
um
everyone does. That's
she takes you where the others are. Again, the waitress is leaving, having given you gotten that double for Author. Author, you have worked with JR previously. Whiskey, they are new to you. But you see Author and Whiskey in the room.
There is a so I don't think JR sees it, but Whiskey sees it. He sees the slight wince. There's a brief wince when he sees JR. Like there's the waitress like opens the door and he catches sight of him and then he turns and it's just like yeah.
JR is probably like way overexcited by like, Arthur, it's been so long. I haven't seen you since that one time. And the thing that's no. It was we had a good time.
No hugger.
Do you?
But yeah, he will rattle on at length, in unusually particular detail about like random stuff that went on as part of whatever. Like, yeah,
Does
you had those shoes. Those
anyone
shoes, they were great. It's just
Does anyone introduce themselves or help introduce people?
Dream of interrupting.
You're not interrupting.
Oh no, we never interrupt.
oh yeah. Eventually, JR will move on to like oh hey, I've met you before. How's it going? Got a drink already? All right. Where is the waitress? Haven't seen her come back through here. Wait, yes, it's time. We need round of snake juice. Round of snake juice, right? Everybody. Next round's on me. You're getting this one, and then where's the waitress?
As that happens,
Whiskey Jack definitely has this look on his face like, oh, this is very entertaining.
how are we pronouncing your name, Casey?
Prager, like the wheel,
Prager?
like the wheel company.
Okay, sure.
Some people know what that is.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Never mind.
We're
It
normies.
goes-
We're normies. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
So what does a Kragar look like?
Kreger is an orc. He stands about 7 foot tall, 400 pounds, cut. He's got a brown. Yeah, orcs can be brown, right?
They can be whatever you want them to be.
Purple.
Don't give me that power.
I mean, it's
Nah,
there.
he has a mohawk, like a short mohawk that goes all the way down. He's in military fatigues, legitimate military fatigues from his old unit, and he's got one combat axe looped around his belt, and then he's got holsters for he's got a holster for one of his pistols, and he walks in, he's got blue eyes. He's really orcish, so he's got the tusks coming up. So
you have a combat axe showing and the holster for a pistol
Just
showing.
walking around with.
I mean, yeah, he usually has at least one weapon on him at all times. So the pistol, the holster is got a pistol in it too.
Okay, just
I don't know how this world works.
We're about to find out.
Yeah, look, it's the Barons. Anything
To be
can happen
fair-
here. There's a reason to be armed. Thanks.
Yeah, so to be fair, the Barons are probably the one place in most places that you could get away with a pistol, a combat axe, katana. I mean, if you're not carrying a katana, who are you in Shadowrun? Really,
Right.
really.
He left that at home. He didn't think to bring that.
And then like as you get into other areas, outside of the Barrens, like downtown, definitely no, like these definitely no weapons. The different areas of Seattle have different security ratings, which run from like AAA, AA, and then A through E. E being the lowest rating. All the places in the Barrens have an E rating.
Mm-hmm.
So you're taking your life into your own hands. As we go through different parts of Seattle, that security rating changes, and with it, so does people's attitude towards weapons, gear, armor, magic foci, things like that.
Gotcha.
So it is an important thing to ask, I guess, more so like ask out of character, me or, someone else might have an idea of areas that you may be going into that
Mm-hmm.
May have a different security rating. That being said, this is still a family restaurant. So the elven woman, teenager, probably later teens, looks at your kit, and looks at the combat axe and kind of like winces a little bit. And I'm assuming you're here for a table at the bar.
Yeah, got a meeting. Looking for what was your name, Mike? What's your character's name again?
JR.
JR.
Yeah, looking for a talkative elf. Way talkative, about a mile a minute.
Okay. I could probably let the axe slide.
Fair enough. I'm guessing the pistol's good too, or do you need that?
No, the pistol's good too. I could probably let that slide.
Okay.
She's not taking you anywhere.
How you said this is a kid? Like a teen,
Late teens.
Okay. What are we looking at? How much?
Do it for a tenner.
Here's 40 and you never seen me.
I'm gonna stop that right now. Casey,
Oh,
don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't pop out more money than.
Okay.
Don't be like, I'm gonna give this kid $50. That is not a thing you should do in. Not too much in this game.
Appreciate
it's okay
it.
to do.
I just need to know the rules because I'm playing it like Cyberpunk at this point.
I mean, throwing money at a problem is always a great way to deal with a problem. I mean, I'm totally fine with you wasting your money on that, but don't immediately jump up to like the next, like, here's $50. Money is a very important resource here.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
Just heads up. So a tenner is fine.
All
Or
right,
you can
cool.
do 50, but I wouldn't jump up to 40.
All right. Well, yeah, I would give her 15. Appreciate it.
Don't let me harsh your mellow, though. You do you. I'm just trying to help.
No. By all means, help because I have no idea what I'm doing.
We'll get to shooting and stabbing things later. She nods. She takes the creds, takes the nuyen, and leads you back, also behind the bar, to this room. The hostess asks, "Would you like a drink?" I think everyone else is drinking whiskey.
No, thank you. I'm on the job, but can I smoke in this area? Is this a fine establishment, or is that frowned upon in this establishment?
No smoking.
No smoking.
No smoking.
Okay, but yeah, I'll take water if you have it. Or
Okay. Yep. We'll get that handled. Is everyone else okay in here?
I'm great.
Fabulous. Jay.
If
So
he leaves before JR can launch into anything. Yeah.
Yeah. She knows. She knows. Krager, you also know Jack. Krager, you also know Jack.
okay.
So
Who's Whiskey? Okay, yep.
Whiskey Jack, Ethan's
Whiskey.
character.
Ethan's
Mhm.
character.
I went with the difficulty and had 2 whole words. So
Versus Mike's 2 initials.
JR Whiskey. How y'all doing?
doing well. Doing well. Yeah, this is just an enlightening evening. JR has been, can I say, just...
A mile a minute.
Yeah, I've just been enraptured the entire evening with the very interesting things that JR has been sharing with us.
Is that what you call it?
And I think author looks like he's extremely interested as well.
It is a very. JR has been quite verbose.
And I've never met Arthur, right?
Right. No, authors, you guys are new to one another. Mhm.
He'd stand up, offer his hand at author.
How you doing? Are you the guy who called this meeting, or?
No.
All right.
Oh no, he's a runner. Right? Isn't that amazing?
Author's
He's a
wearing
runner.
a suit.
We did this job before. We did it.
We don't talk about other jobs.
Like,
Bad form.
and Krieger, I haven't seen you in forever. Da, da, da. Like going around like doing like the one hand like hug around the back. Like,
JR, you cost me 3 months worth of work on my car because you couldn't be quiet, and it got shot.
I don't think that's the thing. I remember. Oh, I remember.
Yeah,
And, like,
yeah,
he will launch into like incredibly specific detail about like everything that happened.
Yeah, you know what? The Yakuza doesn't appreciate you blabbing about everything, my man. That's why I got AK-97 rounds in the door. You know how hard it is to find replacement door panels for a 1970 Challenger? What are we doing?
Well, for a 1970 Challenger, where they're like, the bolts are like 17.34 millimeters apart, you have to find the replacement parts. I mean, you usually have to go outside of town to find it, but like you can find them in the junkyard, and they're usually reasonable.
So as that's going on, the waitress comes back, brings a bottle of water for Krieger.
How much would it?
Krieger?
Krieger, yes, and
Krieger.
I would be like, ma'am, how much would it cost for you just to ignore the smoking thing? How much would it cost me?
No smoking. The boss is pretty harsh on that one. I'm sorry.
Nope, understood,
I
ma'am.
mean, you can go out, but like, could you like stand 10 feet away from the door? Like, make sure that you're not near the door. Like, he really doesn't like it.
Okay, gotcha. No problem, man.
Anything else? Appetizers?
You got wings?
We got wings. We got some good wings.
I'll take some wings.
Are they seitan?
Say again?
Are they like seitan, tempeh? What kind of wings you got? Like soy, chicken,
Soy.
soy. Okay.
Soy. But we got mild, we got hot, we got buffalo.
I'll take buffalo. Ooh, do you got a Caribbean jerk?
I mean, we got a jerk in the kitchen.
Is he from the
But-
Caribbean?
No, I think he's from California.
Okay, they have California jerk, Krieger.
That's not... Okay, buffalo, please.
I'll get some buffalo wings for the table. Okay.
JR will order something that is like just vegetables.
Okay.
Like I don't know if that's just like an extra
Lettuce?
side of like just the celery and carrots.
Yeah.
But, like,
We got some
what is
celery. They can make a salad for you. Would you like some? I mean, she's not gonna say it, but because she works with an elf and she's human, but elf food. She wouldn't say that though. But you get the distinct impression that she wants to.
There's a phrase that she wants to throw around and she doesn't. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because there's 3 elves and an orc in here.
I was like, that would be a unwise decision.
For those of us, what is elf food exactly? I don't actually know. As Ethan.
Okay, so I mean, it's I mean, it's vegetable, salad, things like that. It's like,
It's not a strict thing, but a lot of elves are vegetarians, I think.
but it's also
Right.
just an insult thing.
And it's
Okay.
a stereotype to call them dandelion eaters.
That's the
that's
one.
the number
Gotcha.
one insult for an elf. Is
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
dandelion ears.
Gotcha. Okay.
Mhm.
I'm
Oh,
coming from like my real world perspective where like soy wings are vegetarian also. So it's
Yeah.
like I don't know.
yeah, but everything's soy.
Yeah. So I
Yeah, a
guess-
lot of things are soy. I know for JR in particular, he avoids meat. He has a meat allergy. So
Well,
Right,
the other
that's
thing
true. I
is
forgot
that,
about that.
fresh vegetables are a luxury. So
But
know-
I mean, bottom of the
yeah.
barrel
Something
celery.
vegetarian is not meaning the same thing as like give me fresh veggies. But yeah,
Yeah.
like that's
Okay.
he's going to be careful about what he ends up picking off that menu.
Mhm.
I'm into it.
Yeah, I just shared a list of slang,
Gotcha.
Oh,
which you may
sweet.
or may not hear me say. I will tell you a thing in Shadowrun is a beetle chip or a better than life chip. And at my normal job, I am working on something called Between the Lines, which is also BTL. And I have caught myself saying beetle many times.
See, when I was a kid, I watched Between the Lions, but we just called it Between the Lions.
I mean, I know about Beetleborgs. That's about all I know about it.
Another common slang for humans is breeder, BREEDER.
Fun.
Um,
I've heard
Dandelion
just
eater.
like straight people called that, but I've never heard that
Yeah.
leveled at all of
Yeah.
humanity.
Yeah, no. There is one for orcs. Oh, the really bad one for trolls and orcs is trog, TROG. That is a very big insult.
Gotcha.
Just
I'm loving this large list of things that I will not be saying.
I'm
It's
just
good. It's
putting them
good.
out there.
I love that.
I've been a part of Shadowrun forever. So you guys are through the appetizers, and I'm sure a delightful conversation from JR. When the hostess leads in an orc woman who is wearing a pair of jeans, a button-up shirt. She's like looking at her phone and typing some things in. She knows like the way to go without looking up. You know, when you've walked a certain path enough times that you don't need to really look at where you're going. That's this woman. She stands probably around 5'10". She has little tusks and kind of pointed ears. Her hair is braided, like in rows. And she looks casual but professional at the same time.
Okay.
And she slides her phone into her back pocket as the hostess leaves and shuts the door. This is your Miss Johnson. And as she comes in and she looks at the lot of you and kind of nods and like, well, Betsy did a good job, at least from the looks of it. Hello, I'm Miss Johnson and I have a job for you.
Ma'am.
JR should absolutely not be the person trying to take charge of any of these
Arthur would've-
conversations for the record, but like he will stand up and like take her hand and like, oh, so dang, like just go like, yeah.
She
Arthur
does.
Way
could reach
too
out,
friendly.
like put a hand on that shoulder and like pull him, rein him back in a little bit.
Mm-hmm. She kind of stands back a bit awkwardly from that, but nods.
Whiskey Jack like repositions himself in his chair. Like before it was like complete cross-legged, now it's like 1 foot up on top and then just like very like not sitting in a chair correctly.
Okay. Betsy said that you would be able to do a job for me. What I can tell you up front is it is to enter a small corp. grab an R&D and a prototype with a 36-hour time window to do it, paying 500 new yen each.
Oh,
Is
out of
that- is
character
that
since
good?
I haven't played in a long time. Yeah, how does that sound?
Yeah, I know. Like I was trying to figure this out earlier today too. I think for where you guys are, it's for a 36-hour like job that needs to be done in 36 hours. It's decent, but not super great.
Feels like a pistol's like 150 in like the book that we used, maybe. So like that's pretty good. That's a few guns. That's a
It depends on your lifestyle and a couple,
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on where your outlook on life is, I think.
Hmm.
I
But
gotta
that
Let me
make
is,
a
review what
lot
my
more than
lifestyle
that
is.
to keep my lifestyle.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that sounds like what her opening salvo is.
And author would say, well, we can discuss that pay. But is there nothing else you can give us? You can't tell us vague corp things or
The only additional info I can give you prior to a deal is that the job will be done. The corporation is in Auburn.
Okay.
So expect a corporation that you would see in Auburn. If anyone has,
What does that mean? What does that mean for those of us at home?
so Auburn is a district.
Okay.
Corp, you don't know the details on the corp yet, but
Hmm.
so corps can range. I mean, they're anything, just like they are today. For $500 a head, you can safely assume that you're not targeting one of the Big Ten,
Right.
like
Which makes it-
major corps.
Ah,
This is probably, from what you guys would know, a very small corp, maybe even a mom and pop, but maybe not. In Auburn, if someone, does anyone have, I want to call it local expert, but that's a different game.
that's Seattle politics.
Politics won't do it, but maybe Seattle, like, or corps or anything like that.
I have street gangs, which sounds like the exact opposite of what you just asked for in hindsight.
Yeah, no. Well, she
What
did say
is-
Auburn, but
Do we know what the security rating for that location is?
she hasn't told you yet.
I mean,
Auburn itself runs from, I think, triple A to C. Let me double check that really quick. Triple or double A to D. Most of them being in the B area. So
me walking around with a fully kitted out is probably not a good idea.
not
Yeah.
at all.
Okay.
I guess I could look at your guys' knowledges really quick.
I don't have any.
I know you. I know you. You don't have any knowledges?
No, because I didn't know if I didn't have enough points, or is that a separate point skill?
It's
That's
Some of them
it
you
comes from-
get points for free.
Yeah, it comes from your intelligence.
Oh,
right.
Sorry, that was me. Hit somebody.
Or like it comes from something.
It comes
Yeah.
from your intuition and logic.
Yeah.
Oh, see, well, that makes sense. I'll fix that tonight.
Also, I realize now that I get some extra bonuses to certain so what would a con test be?
So
Like CON test? Because I don't see like a constitution skill or attribute.
it might be
Oh, are they
conjuring.
do they mean con? One of the social skills is con.
Is con.
Oh, okay.
Like to like pull a con job on someone. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, well, I have
That's me fucking with your sheet. I'm sorry.
Gotcha, I see. Yeah, I don't have con, so I guess I do now.
You
Added
have
two because of my mentor spirit.
I think it's
Okay.
an influence group.
I don't have that. No.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead. So you guys don't know a ton about Auburn, really. You do know that it's an industrialized area. that a lot of lower middle class wage slaves, which are people that work at corps, work within that area.
So you want us to go in with very little info, knock off a corp, and bring you back something, but you're not going to even give us a corp's name, ma'am?
She's not going to give us till we agree to pay her, or till we agree to the job.
That gentleman is correct.
Author would look around and be, does anybody have any specific corps that are on the no-fly list that might be in Auburn?
Not that I know of.
No.
Well, no.
JR seems like the type that would be on all of the no-fly lists, but I think that could just make things a bit more fun. So
I agree with you about 50% of that statement.
it's a new
The only
average.
problem I see here is the fee, and I'd like to roll rather than argue with you about the money.
Yeah, negotiate.
What does that mean?
What does what mean?
Oh,
He's got two
it's
crits,
a
but also
6.
2-1.
So
I got 6 successes. That's,
Mike got 6 successes.
That's a ton of successes.
Lot
I
of
feel
dice.
It's a
this
lot
is
of
what
dice.
I do. I am Dexy in this.
See, this is why the joke where they said that, you know, when I asked for crunch, I didn't mean how many D6s can you fit in your mouth. This is making me realize why that's such an accurate statement.
Yeah.
Okay. So you and her go back and forth, and it's actually kind of cool to watch Author do this. It's a casual conversation. He's not stressed at all doing it, and she seems to be trying to keep up with him, not letting him. But Author also knows not to like overpower her with what he's trying to do. He very smoothly negotiates the rate up to 1,000 new yen per head, which is good. That's double the money. But she does make it very clear that she cannot go over that.
Author would look to everyone else. Does everyone else find those terms acceptable?
There's a couple boxes of bullets I need, so yeah.
That's twice as many as I was going to get originally. So it's great.
It sounds like we can do business.
Wonderful. She slides Author a she pulls out her phone, types something into it. You can kind of see that like the light on her face, it goes black and then comes back up in like a blue color. And she slides that across the table to Author. You've done this before. And all of you have done this before. It is signing a deal. You don't like, you sign your runner name and like your dead drop phone number. Like, it's kind of it's a deal to do business, but it's also kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like kind of a promise that you're not going to fuck each other over. That doesn't mean that it's not going to happen, like, but it's kind of this, okay, there's goodwill on both sides.
Gotcha.
Sort of thing.
Almost like an NBA at this point, or NDA or whatever, non-disclosure agreement.
I mean, kind of to a point. I mean, you're signing your fake names potentially to a document that they don't want tracked either. So it's more of a goodwill type of gesture. What you know of these is normally they get burnt afterwards, like after the job is done. Once you do the dead drop, then this contract is gone. Like,
The only
whatever.
thing we're signing is a note so that they know the list of names to give to the headhunters or the next Shadowrunners when we screw this job up and they want to.
Mhm. So that gets slid across to first author, and then she waits for everyone to sign it, and give it back to her.
I think Whiskey Jack's like signature, I guess, is gonna be kind of a bit abstract because like if it was something like sign on the dotted line, in no way would he put words because that's ridiculous. But it's like the same. It's like the same little doodle that he does every time of like a very like almost like cave painting style like coyote.
Gotcha.
That is like very just unique to his art style kind of deal.
Gotcha. Everyone else sign it in some fashion.
JR does the John Hancock thing where like the signature's like way bigger than all the others for no real reason. Like
Lots of swirls. It's JR, but it for some reason is 48 characters. It's
neither of those characters involve a dot or a cross, and yet there's hearts over parts. I don't know what's going on.
I would sign it the 53rd.
Okay. Cool. So she gets her phone back and smiles at that, nods, and she's like, all right, we can get down to brass tacks. The corp is called Balon, Belon. It is
What do they
located.
do?
They are a art supply corporation.
that was character laugh, by the way. Arc supplies.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe you just say what you need to say.
Okay, thank you. And she's like, thank you, I was going to. It is located in the Black Diamond neighborhood in Auburn. It is a laboratory and a warehouse. What I need you to retrieve, it's the mixing instructions, the pigment list, and a sample for the color that they are.
Oh no.
Oh no.
The color was too powerful.
It was too powerful.
It
a
was
color.
out of space.
There were too many it was gonna unlock something that we
She got
didn't.
too excited about color. That's what it was. It was too pretty a color. And
You're like hardwired in, Mike, right?
yeah, it's
Okay.
our Wi-Fi decided to drop her momentarily.
That's so rude. That's so disrespectful.
Yeah, well, I mean, it means that you guys don't have to listen to the cursing coming from the other room.
So Legend Keeper, everybody.
So yeah,
It's a service. It's a product. It's a thing that you could be so lucky. Oh, that's fun. That's fun. I can't really do anything about that. I'll be over here. Hey,
Yeah,
I'm Katrina.
it's a fun service where you can organize all the stuff you need for your.
It's a wiki.
that you
It's
can
some
use
maps. It's you can have your players do little journals in there and they can collaborate. And it's just, it's a wonderful. Do you got a novel? You got a game? Do you have a
You need to plan the nights for your Twitch channel and
yeah, do you
coordinate
need
who off
a
your Discord is going to be running which game.
what do they call it?
You need
Kanban board? Or
Kanban
whatever?
board, yeah,
Kanban, yeah.
project management tools like that.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else do we do with that? I'm finding it quite useful. I'm using it for the Mass Effect game, and I enjoy it.
Boom. We're back.
And hello.
We're doing a
We're
Legend
back.
Keeper
We
spot.
love Legend. Yeah, we're doing a Legend Keeper spot.
Sorry, my Wi-Fi booted me, which is
Yeah.
great. She was telling you what you guys are going to pick up.
Yeah, it was so that like it was a color. You started to
mixing
describe a color.
instructions, a pigment list, and then
Right. So it was mixing instructions, a pigment list, and a sample for the color that they are creating called Awakened Blue.
Awakened Blue.
I'm gonna. Whiskey Jack would know this is a faux pas, but he's just extremely curious as to why.
That's a faux pas.
That's a faux pas.
I mean, you could, but normally it's not asked because that's a liability.
Yeah, I think
It's yeah. So, author
Who
sees
thinks that will stop JR? It's
like he sees him lean forward and he just kind of goes, so we pick up the items. Do you have a dead drop you want us to drop them off at?
Yes. So you have 36 hours from an hour from now. We'll start at 7 to do what you need to do and dead drop the item. And she would kind of looks at, I guess, you author to see if you have a dead drop number. If you
I
have a drop
do.
number. Okay. I'll send the location information to you. It is located here in the Barrens.
All right. No destruction. Any bonuses for any additional anything?
No, we were pretty fixed on this thing. We hope that this would just be B&E. Nothing. We just want you to do a good job and not bring anything back to us.
Nice and quiet, not a problem.
Good.
is this. I'll look
He does
is this
say
illegal.
yes.
You just see.
no. This is fine. It's a problem if you get
Whoa.
caught, but otherwise, this is gonna be cool. There's no problems here.
You
Look,
know, I
nothing-
just don't
I'm
know.
sure they got.
I'm gonna talk to Betty.
He's like smiling like the whole time he's like, I just don't. Illegal? Like
You did
against the
sign.
law?
You did sign the yes.
You know what?
Oh, okay. Well, I guess that's fine.
It is 1,000 million for your trouble.
Yeah, that's. Yeah.
Well, this room is rented for another hour or so.
Do
Finish
you know
up
if
your
the buffet's open?
No, it's not.
Okay.
They don't have one. That is all the information I have for you, gentlemen. Good luck.
Is it like a navy blue or like a sky blue?
It is the
Cerulean
bluest.
blue.
It is the most pigmented blue that you will have ever seen.
Somebody's been reading up on Stuart Son.
I might know a thing or two about Vanta Black. Thank you.
Is it what okay, so we're up to like probably like Black 3.0 at this point in just the year of our Lord 2021. By Shadowrun times, we're up to what, like probably like Black 8.0 at this point? Like
I mean,
How
it's
black
pretty
can black
crazy.
can get? Like I've seen some black.
No,
well,
so
yeah, they've
they're
made the
Black
perfect black. It's
3.0.
just the guy who made it was kind of an asshole. And so
Yeah.
other artists have been like kind of making fun of him by making black.
I will
blacks.
tell you that story off stream.
It's so
that-
good. It's such a good one.
so that we don't get into trouble. But you have the room for another hour. If there is nothing else, I will leave you to it. You have the information. Thank you.
It's been a pleasure. We'll hope to speak to you in the next 36 hours.
Thank you. With that, she will leave. And we will take a break.
Oh. So it is time. Great. All right.
So
How long,
we'll be
how long of
back
a break?
about 10 minutes, so a quarter after.
Sweet.
We will and then we'll kind of continue this little get to know each other, get to know contact sort of thing. So all right.
Great.
We'll see you guys in about 10 minutes.
Okay.
Here we are.
Hey,
That's
we're
not how
back.
numbers work.
Look, I had a count in my head, and I said 5, and then I said 2, just to let you know it was very soon. And then at 0, I hit it.
I
It was
would
very
say,
scientific.
Mike, you can't complain for the way that Ethan throws us back from break. given the way that you take us back.
The important thing is that everybody does it in a different way.
Yeah, it has to be different.
I don't know how much of that is me and how much of that is Whiskey Jack speaking, but it's very important either way.
But what's even better is that Ethan does it a different way, because that's
Mhm.
not the same way we went to or came back from break Saturday.
That's right. Well,
Right,
this is
like-
Shadowrun. This is different. That was Aegon.
Totally different vibe.
Different night, different game.
Different
This is
vibe.
a
Different
Monday
thing.
night. I have way different energy on Mondays than I have on Saturdays, than I have on Wednesdays, than I have on Fridays.
So much energy. Just spewing forth from Ethan.
All the energy.
Okay, so the Johnson has left, and the door is still closed, which gives you the 4 time to talk, time to figure out, time to reach out, time to touch a friend. I don't know what you want to do, but but feel free to do it. Remember, this is an R-rated show, so
I would like
Oh.
to see. I would like to roll a knowledge for Seattle gangs to see if I know if there is a gang in that location.
in Black Diamond.
Yes.
Go for it.
The power of Legend Keeper, Heather will tell us.
I have 1 success.
So I have a question that's related to this.
Yep.
How many successes is good?
More than 1.
More than 1? So 1 is bad?
Well,
So okay, so hits will always get you something.
Okay.
So unless you're contesting something, so like if we were both like doing, like if you were doing a con and I was doing like a wisdom or whatever, I don't know. Those are contested. So having more than the other person is, the win.
Okay.
In roles like this, getting 1 hit will get you information, and there's kind of as you get more hits, the more information you can get.
Okay.
And then, like, for a final example, like Mike rolled his negotiation, and I didn't roll negotiation myself. I just let it live off of the hits he got,
Mhm.
up to a maximum number of hits where that was all the money she had.
Right.
Right. So they kind of, the 3 different ways that they work, if that makes.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was just wondering because, like, some games, like, 1 is that you, like, barely do it. And then 2 is, like, where you want to be. Like Lasers and Feelings, for example, that we played on
Right.
Friday.
you want a couple of hits usually. I mean, but I don't have a very high skill in that one, and I don't have a very high. So I only rolled 4 dice, but you only get a hit on a 5 or a 6. So, I mean,
Okay.
With that, there's some go gangs in the area that kind of run. So Auburn is next, a little northeast of Puyallup. So there's some go gangs on the highways, but none that you can think of in that area of Black Diamond.
so no major gangs
Mm-mm.
at the very
No
least.
wieners.
No wieners. Mm-mm.
Okay. Pretty serious about those wieners.
I know that you're just dying to run into some Halloweeners ever since you played.
I have played Shadowrun Returns, and just if anybody's curious about where my character came from, it's from Shadowrun Returns. I'm playing my senior. Just charismatic badass. Couldn't help it. What a gem.
I'm trying to remember where they run at, but I will look at it later.
I think it's Puyallup.
We'll find it. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, so I guess author will look around the table, be like, all right, does anybody know anything about the area? I know that there are some go gangs around there, but no major players. Of course, we've take a break and make some phone calls. But does anybody have anything off the top of their heads?
I don't think so.
I'm just
I have a question about like because I'm all right. I've got a knowledge skill in security procedures, and I'm not sure if that would help me figure out like what security's like around that area or anything like that.
I think that would work more if you saw the location. Does that make sense? And then you can like security procedures, like, okay, now that I've seen the building, I kind of know like what the normal tactics would be. But I don't think it would in like here in planning.
Like it's not the same thing as being like I'm familiar with like the whole neighborhood, which I've never been to or I would have done something before now. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah. No, JR's suggestion is like, oh well, clearly, we're going to go over there, we got to scope it out, we got to check out what's going on, because let's move around the area.
Right.
I can make a call to my arms dealer. See if there's anything that she might know about it.
I mean, I could put some feelers out to some friends and see.
I've never been up. I've never wandered up there. Most of my work has been around here, or I'm still living off of a job I did when I first got here, so I haven't really been working that hard.
I've got so I gotta pull out my pocket computer. We have an address, right?
Yes.
Then I'm going to look and see, is there a restaurant near the location that we're going to?
One second, and I can answer that. Huh. Did you guys know that there's a whole road called Black Diamond
Oh, nice.
in Auburn? It's very, very interesting.
Is it wiggly?
Yes.
Is it steep?
Yes.
Is it covered in snow?
Covered in
Sounds about
snow?
right.
Is it
Well,
actually a ski trail? Are you looking at the right map?
Does it have a half pipe?
Are you sure
What's it going
it's not like bunny rabbit difficulty?
No. This is Black Diamond difficulty.
Yeah, there is a restaurant near there.
I'm going to say, well, according to this, there is a restaurant nearby. We could go to that restaurant to grab a bite to eat, drive past the location. At least give us an idea to look at and an idea of what the area around that is.
I'm not hungry.
Okay.
I get what you're putting up, boss.
I'm not sure that was the point, but yeah.
Is it a restaurant or is it a bar? Is there a bar near there?
It's a bar and restaurant.
It's a
I
bar.
can
It's
tell.
got,
We're definitely going there. We should go there now.
I'm not thirsty.
Slow down. They've got alcohol.
Water?
They'll
They'll
have
have
water.
that too. What else do you need? You need a bump? Because he like kind of like pats his pocket in his jacket. Like
A what? A bump?
never mind, I thought you were cool. Moving on. No, we should go there. We should.
Thought you were cool.
Have you seen how you're dressed? You are not cool, my friend.
Oh, you should see my gear
my
list.
gosh.
That's
I can't wait.
Does
It's all drugs, isn't it? It's just the entire gear list of drugs.
not the entire thing.
Does anyone else have transportation?
I was gonna
can
get a car.
walk.
I haven't put it in yet. I was gonna buy a car.
Okay.
So.
JR will finger guns at like the front window to the restaurant where there is a what's the name of it? A Suzuki Mirage motorcycle parked up front.
Yes.
That
JR.
doesn't surprise me in the least bit. Okay.
I could steal a car probably.
I've got a car that we can go over JR can meet us there, so his bike doesn't get left behind. And then you can, if you're okay, leaving some of the hardware you're carrying around in the car while we're in the nice part of town.
He looks at his gun. I was like, "Do you not know how expensive this is? This is an ace."
That's great. I mean, the MSRP is only $495, but you usually find it at least a 5 to 15% discount, depending on which store you're in.
It's also
You go to the
5
south end of the
and
city,
it's
you
got a
can-
license, so that's the more expensive thing. What's this? Do I know the security rating of that area of town?
Yeah, I'll give it to you. It's a D.
It's a D, so not great, but I mean, it's still not a walk around town with a gun kind of.
You make your point. Like I said, I don't go up there a whole bunch, so yeah, I'll leave it. I'll leave.
We'll put it in the trunk. It'll be fine.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
So who's
So we're definitely taking your car because we don't want to take my car.
Right.
Okay.
Your
So-
80-year-old car.
An 80-year-old car could smoke about anything around here and probably higher up.
I had grandparents that lived for less time than your car has been.
So the
Existence.
concern I'm going to have is, how does your car run? Because you can't buy gas anymore.
Oh, it's probably like vegetable oil from fast food restaurants, I would imagine.
Most of them have got nuclear cells.
Wait a minute, is it not Chew anymore? Is it not like we don't
That's-
have a seven?
that's
We don't
Cyberpunk.
have. I know, but it's like I
Cyberpunk,
was
buddy.
assuming there was like a knockoff of that.
A knockoff. Ooh, that's probably fighting words.
Okay, nah, I didn't mean it like in disrespect to Shadowrun fans. Don't come at me, please.
They're here. They're already here.
They're here.
Most
They're here for you.
vehicles are-
You've already
most
been canceled on the
vehicles are
internet.
electric.
Hold,
What?
please.
I'm like Eminem. You can't cancel me. Probably.
So the book,
Hey, book.
which looks like the 2070 book that so 5th edition. There's additional gas tank mod and multi-fuel engine.
Okay.
So maybe it is vegetable oil, but it ain't cheap.
Mm-mm.
I will look into more info on that.
Okay.
Almost everything is electric now. Back in the day of the original Shadowrun, they had like nuclear cells, but I think they revised that. So you don't have little-
Yeah, I could like a couple stray bullets and we've got problems, right? Like,
yeah.
You said everything is soy, right?
Mhm.
A lot of things are soy.
Don't worry about it. I refine my own fuel.
yeah, your car smells like hamburgers.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's potent stuff.
So author has a very nice what is it? A low price sports car. Nice, fashionable enough to look good. When he does open up the trunk, it is basically like you would imagine, like an old time when you go on one of the travels, the rich people would go on the Titanic and whatnot. They have the trunk with the whole thing with all of their
Mhm.
multiple sets of clothing. It is a clothing cache of different styles and disguised stuff. And he would take your weapons if you would hand them over and place them gently.
Well,
What is
seeing all of this, he would definitely take his top of his fatigues off and wrap one of his combat knife, the sharp part, because it's like I don't want to damage anything. Like he's respectful of the layout. He's like,
Appreciate it.
yeah.
What is the light pistol policy?
There are two ways that it goes. If you have a license to carry it, you're fine.
I don't
Which
think I have any.
means
sort of
you have to have a sin.
Oh,
Or a
absolutely
fake
not.
sin.
with a sin.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you have some method of concealing it, concealable holster, or if it's built into your clothing, you paid extra for that.
You could be like me and have
Author
like,
paid extra for that. So because he's gonna have a pistol with him.
I'm just gonna. What about foci or like foci problem? And also, what do those look like?
They can look
Button.
like whatever you want them to look like.
Okay, I'll
Um,
be working on that thing because I have like 3 of them.
yeah, they whatever you want them to look like. And also they should be licensed, I believe. But you're Shadowrunners, and
What if
you
they
know.
just look like knickknacks? How are you gonna know?
So a normal
It's like
person,
walking around town with a rain stick. What's up with that, guys? You don't need to.
for those that are awakened, a lot of them can shift into the astral or a sense, and then they can peer or see magic items on you, or see if you're magically active, which is also something you can do, Whiskey Jack. Um, peer into the astral, which will also allow you to like see spirits, astral trails, various things.
Cool.
So think of the astral like the matrix for mages.
Yeah, but if I try to go to the Matrix, I'm gonna get a little sick. I get a little sicky.
Well, that's a little different.
I get a little sicky in the Matrix.
We all
Yeah.
do.
Doesn't agree with me.
We'll pack everything away and head over
To Black Diamond. Okay. So are 3 people are in your car, and then JR's coming on a bike?
Yes.
It's good. You said a sports car, right?
It's a four-seater sports car.
Oh, it's gonna be real cramped though, because I'm like 7 foot tall.
Oh yeah, you're in the back seat, bud.
Oh, I'm not in the back seat, Mr. Coyote. No, we are not doing that.
Or can be there sitting on the motorcycle, just like pat the back. Like, all right, hop on then.
I'm asking you for a small amount of practicality. You can stretch out on the back seat.
You know what? Okay.
You
fine.
could ride with JR.
You could ride with JR.
His engine would blow up. He gets in the back seat.
Yeah, JR has a very fast motorcycle, no helmet in sight, and no points in driving.
No,
So yeah, ride with
no. I'm. What's your policy on smoking in your car?
No.
Oh, fucking gay.
I mean, if you wanted to pay me, and then also pay author, and then pay to clean author's vehicle, I think I'd be okay with you smoking.
Why would I have to pay you?
Because you're damaging my lungs, sir.
Do you see where we're at? And you're worried about some tobacco?
There's definitely some like bad air, some bad miasmas around here.
I hear you, but I write that off on my taxes.
Do we think we need to add to this?
Yeah, I can write that off as like environmental dangers on my taxes or whatever, but whatever you're doing.
You don't have a, like, we know, like, Whiskey, you don't have a sin. You don't pay taxes.
You don't
yeah, I know, but what if I did?
You know what? Fine, whatever. I'll smoke when we get out of the car.
That's good. I like that. Thank you.
That's great. You two are ridiculous. You have a nice car, though.
Thank you.
So, getting from Poya to Black Diamond in the Auburn area, this goes through what once was a beautiful part of Seattle, with lots of trees, and it's very hilly. Little houses are tucked away in these little nooks that once were very cozy. And I mean, maybe that's still the case for some places. Some places haven't been ravaged as hard here in the Sixth World. Black Diamond itself was at one time a little community at the top of one of these hills that overlooked kind of a valley. But over time, it's become more industrial. And there's lots of warehouses and storage facilities. This is probably one of the larger places that you can stop before you head out of the Seattle districts and are into Nan territory or Salish Sahid territory, which is the Native American territory. While this isn't like right on the border, it's probably like one of the bigger spots or one of like the bigger places for goods to come through. And so it's kind of changed from being this old sleepy town to this more industrial area. There's many like different warehouses in this kind of just warehouse. Like there's one big parking lot. Trucks can go behind, and there's like maybe 4 or 5 different buildings that the trucks can like that you can go to. And you have the address for one of them. That would be like the furthest away from the road, the main road that goes through. And about a mile away from that, there is kind of just like a sports bar type place, where you can, watch a game, get some food, get some drink, hang out with the guys after a day working.
Definitely going to give the place a good once over as we drive by.
Okay.
I do have an eidetic memory, so I could do a full recall on any details. But looking at any security outside that it looks like.
So are you stopping or are you just driving by?
Just driving by. It's just a casual let the foot off the gas, I guess, and just like a little quick stare as we continue.
You see the standard security cameras on all the buildings, but given the territory of this part of Seattle, and like the trees and kind of the ups and downs of the road, you don't really get a good look at like if there's any other external security. And you definitely don't get a look other than like the entryways and exitways of where the trucks can come. You don't really see back behind the buildings.
Okay.
So you probably think you'd know that to really get a closer look, you're gonna need to get into that parking lot, which looking like the parking lot itself doesn't seem to be chained off or anything like that. Like it's pretty like you need to get into it. But from the road, you really can't tell too much.
Right. Okay. And then I would have mentioned it as we were about to pull by so everybody can get their look. And then we'll go to the sports bar.
And that's how do we roll for like perception? I mean, is that a knowledge or?
No, perception's a skill. Hold on.
I do not have. I have infiltration.
You have what?
I have infiltration, like sneaking in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, it's going to be more of, there is a perception. It's an intuition skill. So you don't have points in it. You just roll your intuition.
Okay.
And this is just like a basic look from the road.
Gotcha.
Like y'all are going from point A to point B, and this is in the middle of that.
Okay.
So this isn't like your only time to do recon. It's the beginning of you doing recon.
I don't see a sensing, but I see astral perception. Which is strange because the pre-gen had a sensing, but like in the table of contents, I don't see it.
So it's definitely probably. Yep, those are words I
It's
said
in
in
the
that.
magical active skills in Legend Keeper.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm assuming it's not under the Conjuring set.
It's a sensing is something that most awakened folk can do. They may be using astral perception in a sensing
It says
for
that
the same thing.
noticing if someone is using a magical skill requires a perception test. But that's not quite, it doesn't seem the same as...
So this says, while astral perception allows an awakened character to sense the astral plane, actually interpreting what is sensed takes practice. Interpreting auras to gain information about the person or thing to whom they belong is called a sensing.
Okay.
A magician who wishes to learn more about an aura must make an sensing plus intuition test.
I still see that on the like list of skills, which is... So I was trying to find it. So I have like the using specific skills section, but I didn't see it.
I'll have to look more into it after.
Okay.
Well, we kind of.
I don't have it.
Scenario,
I don't have it
so.
specifically on my thing, but I was gonna kind of try to check out the
yeah.
spiritual sitch
Yeah.
of this building.
Let me just read really quick.
I can just roll like my magic or whatever.
But it should be a thing.
How's it spelled? Is it one
S? ASSENSING.
Okay.
Legend keeper, everybody.
For organizing all your campaign rules, you need to reference to keep everything organized.
A bit crunchy. It's weird that I can't see it from like the table of contents. And my control F isn't working.
Is astral perception a skill?
It is.
So I think that it's using that skill, but calling it a sensing.
Okay.
That's the best I got quickly.
Sure. I don't have either of those. So I'm just going to look up astral perception and what it goes off of. Which it's leading me.
It'd be intuition.
Intuition. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So can I roll that?
Yep.
Intuition. Just okay. Just 4 die. Attribute. Intuition. 0.
So you're looking to see if there were anything that you saw while you were kind of moving in the car.
Yeah, also that's like twice as many. I rolled intuition. It was like, what attribute do you want to use? I said intuition, so it rolled it twice. I don't know.
That's
oh,
fun.
I should have clicked none. Whatever. Either way, 0.
Okay.
That's fun.
I think it makes sense. We're learning, and it's a complicated system, and I apologize.
Don't apologize. Okay.
You didn't write it?
It's the creators. You should know.
It's the creators' fault.
First the makers.
Yeah, I think, you're in a car, the car is moving, you're trying to look for things that may also be moving. You're not really like spending the time to project, if you could. So yeah, you don't really get anything from this view. And then Casey, you did a perception, so.
Yeah, I got 1 success.
Okay.
So probably like...
You notice on the as you're driving by and you're looking at the entrance and exit ways, there's some kind of scanner set up on all of those paths in and out.
Okay. All right. So we got a scanner.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
And then you guys get to Jimmy's Sports Bar. And Jimmy's Sports Bar looks like it was refurbed back in the 70s.
Does it also look like a Pizza Hut?
No, this is non-Pizza Hut looking.
Okay, I'm gonna take the Pizza Hut off of the stream then.
Oh.
It's been there the whole time.
Just look at the Pizza Hut, y'all. I don't have a ton of handouts tonight.
I'm gonna put it back then. But
I mean, I have the lovely Shadowrun logo.
Well, now it's and there's a Pizza Hut in the middle.
It's in the middle of it. Nice. Yeah, the sign outside looks like it was created like on someone's acid trip back in the 70s. But it has been changed numerous times, and right now it says Jimmy's Sports Bar. Which when you're getting out, you do see people like outside having a cigarette, talking, bullshitting around a couple of cars. They do look Asian. But they're not, they're just there's like 3 of them just talking to each other. And
Whiskey Jack's gonna cough while walking past them since they're smoking, just to make them a little bit self-conscious.
Wow. I light up. It's like, oh, it's about fucking time.
Just like a
they say something in Japanese. Yes. In Japanese. I don't know if any of you speak Japanese. I'm going to assume that author does. It's just a bullshit insult, of like whatever. But it's also mainly ignored. That fucker, and then they kind of continue on with what they're talking about, which is just, it seems just like some bullshit about bets, gambling.
Whiskey Jack will wink at one of the others as they move past him, just kind of like mission accomplished.
And when they see you light up, Casey, like one just nods at you like that, like I'm a smoker and you're a smoker, and like, yeah, gotcha.
We're so cool, kind of thing.
Yep, we've been cool since we were teenagers.
Are they talking about sport bets?
Yep.
I actually have a skill in sports. Do you know what they're talking about?
If you want to roll it.
Please be kind.
They're talking about betting on horses. Yeah. You hear them talking about exactas and quinellas, boxing a trifecta.
Okay. All right. Okay. But nothing in particular, no.
It sounds like they're teaching, like 2 of them are teaching the third one about how to bet.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. And so as you guys walk in, this is like, it almost like for us, it would be like part arcade, kind of. Like that's kind of I guess casinos maybe better. Because that's the kind of just like sound that hits you, is like buzzers buzzing and things ringing and people seeming to win, something like that, over on one side of the bar.
Like being around a bunch of like digital poker machine kind of things, or
kind of more like there's a lot of screens set up on the on one side of the bar, and occasionally they'll just be like the beeping of something winning, not like poker or anything, but just like you don't see any machines like someone would be playing on, like a slot machine. But the sound effect like comes up when like supposedly somebody's winning something. And what you see up on the televisions or the vids are horses, like horses running on a horse track. There is really no hostess or anything to seat you guys, but you do see plenty of like tables that you can sit at, or like the stool height tables, There's a lot of places like where people are standing that aren't necessarily, they're not bars, but you know, they can stand around them. There's like books on them, like a paper book, magazine. That's the word I was looking for. But yeah, and then there's a lot of people of different races and meta types, but you do get kind of a there's just an Asian feeling to, or just a lot more Asian people than Caucasian.
When author walks by the gangers out, or the guys outside, do they appear to have any gang affiliation?
You have street gang. You have
I do too.
who had, so roll me street gang or organized crime or something, if you have either of those as knowledges.
I have, I think, Seattle street gangs at a
That
4.
works.
I did.
I rolled a 3.
Okay.
Have I caught back up to everybody here, or am I somewhere else? I'm not
Yep,
sure where I'm.
You're with us. Sorry, I
Okay.
forgot that you
Because
picked different
there was
people.
also
Or
you
did
said
you
there
want
was
to
like
do
a
something
parking.
else?
Well, there was a parking garage too. You said that was like by the building that we were supposed to be getting
So
into.
there's like normal parking, like in between these 4 buildings of warehouse buildings.
Okay.
Um,
I thought it was like a multi-level parking garage. Never mind.
Mhm.
No, then just keeping an eye out as we go by and heading into Jimmy's here with everybody.
Yep.
I'm gonna real quick, Katrina. While they go inside, I'm gonna actually stay outside. I'm not gonna go into the bar.
Okay. So yeah, you stay outside and smoke.
Can you see the building from outside?
No.
But we know
too many
it-
hills.
We know where the location is, though, right?
Yes.
Right. I'm just trying to
Okay.
observe it a little bit.
Yeah, unfortunately, the way that this part of Seattle is, there's the elevations differ. So, and Seattle itself is still has a lot of greenery.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, things get covered. Things can't really.
Is it cool? And I'll back off so people can do their stuff. If I do take off on the bike to go
Absolutely
scope out a little bit more around where that is in a minute.
Yeah, no, let's do that first. So you do know where they're going. You know that they're at Jimmy's and you've seen that. So you're gonna go back out towards the warehouses.
Yeah, I want to try to observe some of the stuff that's over there to see if
Okay.
there's. So there was some talk about like, oh, we spotted scanners and things like that, and like if there's other people around, kind of deals like that.
Yeah,
You know,
so
trying to justify that security procedures.
yeah. So opposite the warehouse area there, there's probably like a strip mall, just like, you know, a payday loan and a laundromat, kind of place, that is lit up, but you know, still dark. You know what I mean? Like it's open, but
Mhm.
you know, and from there you can get a good view of the 4 warehouses. The specific one that you want is the back right, and it's kind of it's like a box. It's just a box, with windows on 2 sides, like maybe like 3 big pane windows, a single door from where you can see right here, you know, from across the street, really. And then if you want to roll the security.
Yep.
Awesome. So for a place like this, in this area of town, there's probably a like local security, or like if the corp doesn't have their own security, which they might, there'd probably be a local security for the location, since it's like 4 warehouses, and you don't know who owns, you know, because someone owns this territory, and it's probably not the corp. They're probably that you're hitting, it's probably leased. So whoever owns the area probably has security detail. They also run the scanners, and you know that those scanners are just to track like the weight of cars that come in and out, so including like the weight of trucks. But also it seems to be on the regular like passing road or the driveway, the entrance and exit for normal cars. And it's probably scans license plate or some other identifying factor of the car. Each of the warehouses, you know, have of this size would probably have like camera security for sure, but also probably turrets. And your assumption based on the size of the warehouse is that they probably do have a security guard on the inside. Who that security guard is for, you don't know.
Oh, give me.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, then JR spends a little time hanging out across the street, like, you know, a Slurpee, watching and gathering information, and then we'll head on to Jimmy's.
Yeah, it's probably about between 8 and 9. And you haven't seen like a rent-a-cop, you haven't seen them go by. You haven't really seen any foot traffic. And there's maybe 1 or 2 cars in that parking lot. But it looks like maybe it's closed for the evening. But yeah.
Quiet. It's too quiet.
Too quiet. You do hear an argument in the payday loan place.
I want the details on that, but that's
It's the troll that walked in there a little while ago is arguing with the owner in Japanese. And I don't know if you speak Japanese.
No, I do not.
It's just really
They're loud. Okay, cool.
they are loud. The pitch changes a lot. You saw the troll walk in there and it was quiet for a bit, then the yelling started. So, but that's all the information you have. Going back,
that's a good time for me to leave before somebody comes flying through a window.
Yeah. Seattle Street Gangs, my Seattle Street Gang crew. Like I said, there isn't really a gang in this area. But given the folks you saw outside, the people that you see inside, you kind of get the assumption that the Yakuza are around here, potentially running this place. So that's what both Ethan and Mike get. Ethan, you're also aware that in the Auburn area, the Yakuza have been moving up versus the mafia, which is also in parts of Auburn. The Yakuza seems to be having more ground lately. And they've done a lot more money laundering recently. Kind of just a word on the street sort of thing.
Gotcha.
But the guys outside, did they appear to be Yakuza, or were they just guys outside?
I think they looked like just guys outside.
Okay.
No actual affiliation that you could see.
Author would just say something like, because you said they were trying to teach one guy the lingo or whatnot, or how to do it. Things are. He'd probably just say something like, in good Japanese, just be like, "Don't let them talk you into doing any of the boxes or the wheels. Just keep it with the simple bets until you figure that out. You don't want to get in over your head."
two guys that were like teaching him were like kind of just glare at you.
I mean, he does it with a grin, you know.
Yeah. They kind of just glare at you, and the other one just kind of shrugs you off. But when you guys get inside and you've kind of settled a bit, someone with a tray will come around, ask what you're drinking, if anything, tell you that the broker is open. For now, the next race is in 10 minutes.
I think after ordering a drink, Whiskey Jack would be like kind of to the rest of the table. It seems foolish to me to bet on a horse that one has not met.
It's part of the fun of the bet.
I guess.
It's
Why would you?
gamble.
How do you choose?
You ever bet on a card that you haven't been dealt yet?
I suppose, but that's
The same run. Somebody
That's
has to
absolutely
come in
not the
first,
same
second,
run.
third, fourth, and fifth.
I mean, I understand,
It's
but
got to be in order.
a deck of cards has 52 options.
There's only
far more
5 here.
There's far more
Or however
factors in
many,
horses, though. Is it in a good mood? Has it had a good day? Has it ate well?
A couple of you have some sense vertigo as a negative quality. Is that correct?
I've
Yep.
Sense vertigo.
Cool. As you kind of take in these things and as you're talking about it, looking up at the TVs again, that sensation that kind of like makes you a bit trippy, like nauseous a little, as you're looking at these TVs, you realize that what you're seeing isn't real horses or a real racetrack. It's pre-generated or AI generated. It's not real horses.
Oh.
And you know, like once you see that and you figure out the uncanny valley, though very, very good. Just because you're both are a bit more, you know, messed up by like some sense. You've realized that what you're seeing is not an actual racetrack.
That is even more foolish. There's no such thing as a random number generator. It's actually random. Artificial or not.
Roll20 would like to have a word with you.
People waste their money on this?
Sponsored by Roll20.
People waste their time on anything.
And people seem to be winning.
I'm sure some people... I mean, someone has to win, right? But... This is strange.
Simpsons Vertigo, though, is only if you're like actually using a rig.
So I'm giving this for flavor.
Okay,
This is
I was
not
just
affecting
checking
you in
okay.
any way. This is
Okay.
flavor only.
I just wanted to make sure if that was because there's a lot of TVs all over the place. I just want
Nope.
to make sure.
It's just more of it caught you once you realized it, then you were okay because your mind could process it.
Gotcha. Okay.
Whiskey Jack just looks kind of disappointed that there aren't real horses and continues to sip his whiskey that he's holding with both hands and kind of cross-legged in his chair.
Casey, the guys outside, they don't really do anything or really say or look at you at all. They just seem to be in conversation.
Cool. I'm gonna do a walkabout. We're going for a walk back towards the building.
Okay. So okay, you're probably maybe a half a dozen street blocks from it uphill.
Okay.
So it was definitely the area for the warehouse was flattened out.
Mm-hmm.
You might say that there's a retaining wall to hold up part of the hill. Because if I didn't put a retaining wall there, my engineer husband would ask me how is the dirt not falling into
Like gasp. I
the...
don't know what you mean. I don't know what the ground there looks like. Know whether or not it needs retaining wall.
It tracks. Being that I've
Mhm.
been in Seattle, it tracks.
Yeah. Yep. Retaining walls all throughout Seattle. If I'm describing something to you, imagine that it has a retaining wall of
Okay.
appropriate
it's blanket comments like that.
size. Always. Anyway, you as you're walking down, JR, you're gonna see your buddy walking down. You guys are gonna pass each other. Just an FYI. But yeah, you can walk back down what I've described before. There's not a lot of cars in the parking lot. The overhead lights, all of them are on. So like at least that maintenance thing is like taken care of, which is good. But maybe a little odd in this part of town. But there's no like fences or anything that really stop you from getting
Is there like a sewer grate manhole?
there would be one in the middle of the road, approximately.
Is this a busy road?
No, but I would say that it's not a straight road. So there might be a blind corner. But it's not busy necessarily.
Cool. I want to open that manhole up and get into the sewer.
Okay. Roll me. Do you have any tools to open up a manhole cover?
I have a lift and carry of 11.
Okay. Roll a strength check.
Okay. So am I doing lift and carry?
You're like
or
pull up
just
to the
straight?
side.
I don't think lift carry is a skill. I think
it's an attribute.
So I am going to tell you that most manholes do lock unless you have a key. I mean, it's a very simple lock, but
yeah, roll lift carry. I think it's just rolling your strength, but
Okay.
Well, he doesn't need a key. Because he pulled that motherfucker out of the ground, and whatever lock it had on it came with it.
So I was hoping this was going to happen because this has actually happened. We had a guy that we set out in the field, and he used a pickaxe to do it and broke it. But that means that not only did the lid come up, but the rim and any asphalt attached to that probably came up with it. So
yeah, and this isn't like a really well taken care of road, so I can definitely see like the patching, like those roads that like get patched, they don't get repaved.
Yeah.
I imagine JR like pulled up to be like, oh hey, what you doing there, man? That's good. And like he does it, and JR's like, I mean, stranger person I don't know, I'm going that way. Like
he just leaves. Yeah. Yeah, you pull up the manhole, the rim, part of the asphalt, and some of the actual like that patching material with it. And there is a ladder that's like welded in, right? Like it's not like there's a ladder down into this sewer. It's not wastewater. It's just storm. Thank you.
Okay.
And they're big pipes, right? Because like storm in Seattle, and with all the hills, you have to account for all of that. Why did you go into a goddamn sewer? My husband's gonna kill me. Do you know how much I'm gonna hear about this tonight?
What?
If I fuck it up, Casey.
I'm sorry, but I am thinking I'm trying to figure out how to get in this building, and I'm like, let's go into this.
Let's do this.
Sorry, Mike, be easy.
Oh no.
So yeah, I'm gonna go. Like I'll look like, huh? Maybe I need to lay off the creatine powder, and he puts it down. And he jumps down there, trying to head to the direction of the building while looking for like any security traps.
So question, do you put the manhole cover back?
I put it back as best I can. Like I'm not
Okay.
gonna. I'm just not gonna. I don't want small children just to fall in.
I was
Okay.
just waiting for the next car to come along. I was just really hoping.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Okay. So the larger pipe runs under the road as well as it can in this part of the world.
Mhm.
And then smaller pipes run to buildings through in areas that you can estimate are below the parking lot. Now you're in one of those pipes. The next pipe is smaller.
Okay.
But you can still like follow it through. Once it gets to the actual building connections though, you're not going to be able to like go through this. You're not going to Shawshank your way up into these areas. So you can get closer to, there's probably a manhole or something similar within that parking area. And you can take a good guess on where it might be.
I was gonna say, can I roll a logic to see if I get into like I'm trying to get into a primo spot, like maybe like that's.
Sorry, you just made a joke that only I know. So yes, roll logic.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll tell you what that joke is.
I needed. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Roll logic.
Logic. Smith.
Okay.
Hey.
So you know that you have been around long enough to know that as best as they can, manholes or similar are spaced out at a certain length.
400
Right.
feet.
Leave me alone. I'm trying.
You're doing great.
I'm not an engineer, so I would be like, here.
But you know that they're spaced out as well as they can be within a certain distance. And you go past one and your assumptions on where everything is, that's not the one.
Mm-hmm.
And then so you go to the next one and your assumption on that one is that it is either on the other side of the building, of a building, or potentially, though it doesn't quite work for you, like underneath the building. But that doesn't necessarily seem right. So it could be that you've overshot, or it's going to lead nowhere, which is possible. I mean, this is, the 2050s, and who knows when this was built and if it was built to any sort of code.
Right. I want to give it a shot. I want to give the one that kind of feels right. Okay. And just kind of see what it is. I want to do it stealthily, so I want to roll infiltration.
Okay.
Like to take a peek.
Mm-hmm. So you're trying to go to the other side and lift up?
Just either lift up or like lift it up in a way to where it doesn't bring attention.
Okay.
So let me, we're going to try to actually hit the skill thing. Where's it at? Here it is. Infiltration. Now, is this I say infiltration, what is that under? Is it a logic, intuition?
So are you rolling the skill or are you rolling?
Yeah, the skill. I'm rolling the skill.
Then it should already be attached to yours.
Well, it says agility.
Yeah, I think they default to agility when you add new ones.
It's a drop down box. You can change that to whatever it's.
I know, we're trying to figure out what that is.
Yeah. What's the skill?
I think the stealth group
agility.
overall was marked as being typically intuition.
Okay.
No, infiltration's agility.
Infiltration's agility? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got 2.
Okay. You peek your head out like a Ninja Turtle.
Got a bunga, dude.
And you find that you're in between two buildings. So this pipe came in from fairly center to the parking area that you're in, came off into the parking area. There was one manhole in probably middle-ish, maybe-ish, to a place where everything came kind of, it was just in the middle. And then further on where the two warehouses in the back almost connect but don't, where there's a road between, that's where this other manhole cover is.
Okay, so it's not...
It is next to the building that you need to get into, but it's still in straight shot of the road.
Perfect. So we can put a stash car here. Another thing, when I was down in the sewers, and this I might be asking for too much at this point, but could I tell if like there was a, because I have demolitions, could I tell like there was like maybe a basement wall that maybe we can bust down to get into the building?
You don't need to bust down the wall to get into the building.
Says who?
Given...
Says the character who's built around breaking into buildings.
Have to versus want to.
So you're pretty deep. There is not necessarily, as far as you can math out, there is not enough room between where that pipe is and how big that pipe is to allow for an actual basement.
Gotcha.
Of like any substantial size of someone to be able to, height to be able to walk around.
All right, so ground floor is most likely ground floor. Okay. All right. Well, this was a successful scouting trip in his mind, being military and all that. So he'll be like, all right, well, he'll head back out because I think I've exhausted this enough, and he'll climb back out. Is there like as he climbs out, is there like a little yellow cone or something that he could find? Can I roll
perception? I also need you to roll a straight intuition.
Well, I don't have perception. I was like, I don't have perception, so.
Okay, we'll roll an intuition for that, and then I need you to roll a second intuition for something else.
Okay. Just straight intuition, all right. No attribute connected to it. Okay, got one success there.
Okay, so if that one was like looking for a cone or something, there's some of those. There's no cones. There's some of those like little metal wires with the flags on them that are used in like landscaping, like around the like bushes. There's some of those like in the ground, but you don't see any like cones or anything like that.
Okay, so he ain't gonna do that. And then you said another one.
Yep.
Submit. Fuck.
You know, just being in the sewer, just like you think about rats, you think about alligators that may be in the sewer. Like you get that feeling, maybe there's an alligator down here. Maybe there's a glass shark down here.
Wait, what?
Glass shark. In that dark water.
Maybe there are ghouls down there.
That was really for me and Ethan, but
in that deep dog water.
Dog water.
There could be ghouls down there.
Yeah, as you're leaving, you're like, wow, there could have, maybe there, is there something down? You know, just a what, back of your neck. Back to Mike and Ethan. Just hanging out with the horses?
I'm gonna, Arthur's gonna place a couple of bets. Nothing, just because they're in a betting establishment, and chances are if he doesn't place a bet of some, it's the correct thing to do at this location.
Yep. So what you learn there is because you kind of have to like, it's weird, right? Like you haven't seen a lot of this before. What happens is they generate the horses about 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes before race time. And they do all the same pageantry that they do with a real race. Like the fake horses and their fake jockeys come down and walk down the track, and like their stats get put up on a screen, and it's generated wins and losses from previous races. Like it's really high tech, and you can place a couple of bets on a couple different horses.
Just because he can, and because he knows that who he's sitting next to, he's definitely going to occasionally make a comment. Oh, I'm definitely betting on that one. That he looks good and healthy. You know,
Dude, you can see him smiling.
I mean,
right?
look, he's smiling and happy, cheerful. Yeah, that's a good horse.
I think Jack's just sad. It's like that is a collection of numbers.
I'm gonna roll logic, Bip.
Sure. Ooh, can I use my sports?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I got it. I might as well.
Excuse me.
I got a
Cool.
point.
So you win like 75 million on a race.
Cool.
Also, Casey, you're wet. Like not like there hasn't been a storm or anything, so it's not like a lot of water, but like your shoes, your boots, dude, did you forget how to tie them military style? There's like water got into them.
I mean, I've been out for a little bit, you know, so it's like I was probably just wearing them like loose bulk. I would definitely like find a bench like before I get back, wring out my socks, you know, let
Don't want
my
to get trench foot.
yeah, and do the proper things to do before and try to dry them out. Maybe walk. Is it what's the season? Is there seasons?
Yeah, there's still seasons. I would say it's spring. So maybe like Mayish.
Mayish, so probably around about 60, 70.
Sure.
Yeah, he would just walk barefoot. He would walk barefoot back.
That sounds dangerous.
Okay.
Just long enough for his boots to start drying out, because he does have quick drying. Hold on, real quick, Katrina. We put I put insulation in fireproof, not waterproof. Never mind.
When's the last time you got a tetanus? Do you think your character got a tetanus shot?
I've been I'm 25. I probably did that heist. We're looking at like probably 6 years ago. My character got out the military. So
okay, it's a careful walk back, but okay. There might be some glass on the ground.
Walk
Definitely
halfway up,
some.
cross the street to go around the glass.
Yeah.
Go back up farther.
Something may have defecated on the sidewalk, if there is a sidewalk. Anyway,
I think halfway through my character puts his boots on. Like, what the hell was I thinking?
Yeah.
I've been in war zones cleaner than this.
So the four of you get back together at what did I call it? Joey's?
Jimmy's.
Jimmy's.
Jimmy.
Yeah.
Do I get there before Krager?
Absolutely.
Because
yes.
I will go up to the bar next to where everybody else is at. Try to order a drink that does not exist at all. Right? Like it's a Tahitian baby mama. It's like 3 shots of something and you put a banana in it, and
we have none of those things.
Get very frustrated. Then be like, get one of those, right? And then
they'll give you an agave drink.
It's orange juice, rum, 3 olives, and a banana. Come on, people, how hard is this?
But you gotta have the umbrella
Yeah.
Or else, yeah.
Guys, I'm sorry to tell you, bananas no longer exist.
True.
Main
You get
regular.
artificial banana flavored
Banana.
soy chunk. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to warn them about our friend who tore a chunk of pavement out. Like,
so here, we'll present it this way. JR comes in, sees you guys, looks like he has something on his mind, goes to get a drink, comes back. And I wouldn't say that JR is silent, but he's quiet as he tries to figure out how to tell you
JR.
something, which means something has happened. And, well, at least author knows this.
Yeah, author just sighs or says, "This can't be good." How's it going?
He may start by like greeting everybody in Sparethiel and seeing like who, like, do they perk up and get what that was?
So Sparethiel is Elven.
Author got it.
I don't speak that. I'm an elf, but I
Which is fine.
speak
You don't-
Lakota.
That's absolutely reasonable. The elves
Mhm.
did a bunch of weird crap, right? Like, so
Gotcha. Cool. Yeah.
we need a language.
Yeah, they made a language. They're that cool.
Like, I think Whiskey Jack's more of that side of elves. It's like, yeah, I'm just like I'm native, bro. Like,
There's a portion.
I've got an
of-
identity. Sorry, like I don't need yours.
Yeah, there's a good
Kinda.
portion of elves that created. Well, there's a lot of elves that created their own nation. 2 of them actually, and they took over Portland and most of Oregon
That makes sense.
and
That
Washington.
tracks.
So they're hipsters.
That
Yeah.
tracks so well.
It's called Shirshingri and or Tir-Tingir, depending
Okay.
on
Yeah.
who you want to be.
It's written one way and pronounced another. Yeah.
Yeah. The Tir, a lot of people call it. And the leaders deem themselves princes. The Prince of Tir. There's like 12 of them or something. And they are definitely your snooty. You know, when you think of a snooty elf, you're thinking of one from the Tir.
I feel like there's probably a big disconnect between like those elves and the elves who were like native before they were elves. Kind of deal is like, what the hell is this? Like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah. They're trying to be kind of Lord of the Rings elves.
Cool.
But Sparethiel is the language that they created, the ancient language that came back.
I think the whole time Whiskey Jack has like
As you
this
do.
like I'm very hard trying not to laugh at how hard you're trying to say the thing you need to say, because this is going to be good.
Just spit it out, JR. What did you see?
Yeah, he will. So Krieger just took out a manhole cover in the street, like removed the whole thing. So I kind of came and figured we'd come out here, but I just wanted everybody to be aware that, you know, if people start asking questions about like people like, hey, was Department of Public Works here? Because somebody thinks and they did the thing. That, you know, we have a story, we have an understanding. We know what happened. Because
Wouldn't it be easier? Which is just wouldn't it be easier for us to lie if we didn't know about this? Like that way, if somebody's like, "Hey, do you know who ripped up the pavement in the street?" We could have said, "No, we don't," and that would have been true. But now we do know.
You're muted, Mike. Mike, you're muted.
Sorry, I author would say I'm still fine lying. You 2 have worked with Krieger before. Does he understand the concept of keeping a low profile prior to attempting to rob a place? Maybe not ripping up manhole directly in front of it. I mean, the man may have a plan. He could walk in here and have the thing. Maybe he just went and got it. But
I mean, what is a low profile really? Like, I've seen a lot of like things marketed as low profile that, you know, those vary wildly in their overall width and therefore profile.
you know what I'm talking about, Jack.
I do.
Like, I don't know if he
That's-
does, but he gets it. This guy
Does-
gets it.
Well, no, because they were smoking outside. I'm used to casinos that allow smoking inside, so never mind.
He does get it. He does. Yeah. I can't believe I'm looking at JR as the reasonable one.
Enjoy it while you can, kids.
Yeah.
It's the only time it'll happen.
I would say that around this time I would finally show up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect. Good
What's that
timing.
smell?
It-
I know what that's.
So
I also need an
You're like, what's that smell? I know what that smells like. Sorry, I thought the bag was closed tighter.
it wasn't sewage. It was just a regular pipe.
What
Look,
are you
that
not-
it's
Don't smell
gonna be
good.
it's gonna be stanky. It don't matter what's down there. It's not gonna smell good.
Everything on the street got washed down into that, and then it rots there.
Fair enough.
Ethan, I need you to roll your spirits knowledge.
Ooh, how fantastic! 1.
You know that a great place, well, for water spirits would be a sewer. But also a great place for a sewer would just be the watcher spirits, which you might hang with me for just a second, guys. But they watch. Watcher spirits, crazy.
Yeah, I think Whiskey Jack's kind of like So, Kraker, did you see any spirits while you were down there?
Chill up my back. It just dawned on me that, you know, I have a spirit bang. Didn't think this one through. Water.
Water. So
You
you
have a
went
spirit bay for water.
and you went in a
That's awesome.
storm drain?
Look.
Sewer?
My hero.
Look. I was doing retail intel. I was seeing if
Soon
there
you're gonna be doing retail because you're gonna be 86 out of this party.
that way, give me a minute. There is a method to my madness. Look,
Is that
You know what?
method?
Hold on. I just want to post this picture in our chat of how I am looking at you through Ethan's eyes.
That's so.
This is how Whiskey Jack is looking at you right now. Ethan, that's gonna become my new favorite emoji.
I don't know if that's bewilderment and disappointment or just pure disappointment.
No, I think
Yes.
it's both.
It's all things. Yeah, I think whiskey Jack's just kind of like. So,
Excuse me.
like looking at Krager is kind of like, so author.
Y'all don't even want to hear what I've discovered. All right, cool.
Will there be time for that? We have to talk about something else first. Author. So there's about a I don't know, I'm not so good at like these math and number things like the horses that you worship or what have you. There's like I think in the realm of like 90% that there were like at least one watcher spirit down there and probably a couple water spirits. Just if I had to take a guess. Just, you know. So what do we do about that, huh?
What's a slow down, slowly roll, shaman. What's a watcher spirit? I know what a water spirit is. Like, what's a water spirit?
So you know, like, do you know, like a security camera?
Uh huh.
Okay, but one of those that can like think, and if if they see something, they just kind of follow it a little ways, probably. Um, yeah, so kind of like a security guard that you can't see. That all they do is just report everything they see to somebody.
Yes, person that we have never met before this moment.
Jack,
Sure.
is there a watcher spirit following him right now?
You can roll your astral projection, your intuition.
Probably do one of those as well. Just personally, I have intuition.
Mike, did you pick up astral projection?
Nope.
Okay.
So I did like, since I don't have astral perception, it would be intuition and then none because I'm not adding anything to intuition.
Correct.
Sweet. 2.
We may want to think on you having that though.
Yeah.
In the future. But you got 2. So cool. So for astral projection and well, sensing more so, you don't like completely like go. You're just words are hard. You're just a sensing. So you're just looking to see if something is going on. You're not actually projecting yourself somewhere.
Yeah.
You do not see any spirits around right now. Like you go, you look, you know, you see some other like magical things, but they're not spirits. They're probably foci or whatever. But you don't see like something that has come to look at you or look at Krager at the moment. Now you can't tell. There's no essence of if something else was on him, but he hasn't been tagged astrally either.
Okay. Yeah, I think Whiskey Jack would be like, Krager, this is worse than we could have imagined. You've been
What?
tagged astrally. They're watching us right now. They know who we are. They've seen our faces. I think this is a bust.
Bullshit.
I mean, you're welcome to look yourself and find out, but I mean, that's what I see.
He whispers because he doesn't want to make that big of a scene. He's like, I shoot things. I don't have your little powers. I didn't grow up in that.
I mean, I guess you better watch out when you're having your personal time this evening then, because you never know. You've been tagged. They can show up at any
What
time.
does that even mean? What does that even
You
mean?
Can you
No, I
burn the
don't.
tag?
I think Whiskey Jack would kind of look at Arthur and be like we're good. Be like, it's really bad. It's really bad, Krager.
You're muted.
And roll an intuition to see if
See if I pick up on them being.
a lie. Yes. I mean,
he's not trying that hard to hide it, but
I was gonna say, like, I don't know if you want to roll a con, Ethan, because it don't.
Oh, absolutely. Just for funsies, I'll roll one.
I got 1. Fuck! He beat me.
So, like, this is your first
I only have 2 die. Or wait, no, I guess I have my charisma dice, so I have like
This
7
is your first
dice.
time meeting Jack. This run, right?
No, I know him.
No, you know Whiskey. Okay.
I know Whiskey and JR. I don't know
Okay.
Arthur.
I don't know what order I put you guys in. There wasn't rhyme or reason. So like you're like 50-60% sure that Jack is lying, like pulling your leg, but man, there's like 40% of you that's just like,
Jack, you need to be Whiskey. You need to be straight with me. Like, I think you bullshit me, but like for real though, like, am I actually tagged? Because if I am, I gotta go. I gotta like get out. Like,
What do you think?
I think you're bullshitting me. I think you're trying to get me riled up, get me off my game.
I think at the
Why would
very
I want
least,
that?
you can burn any tag that might be on you.
Oh, absolutely. And then Whiskey Jack will kind of like rub his hands together like this for a while, and then say, "It's actually it's right there.
What's that?
You need to lean the tag. You need to lean in."
Okay. He leans in.
And he's just gonna smack him in the face.
What the fuck was that about?
It's like, I got it. Look, it takes a certain amount of force, or it won't take. You're good. You're good now, though. You can do whatever you want now.
Officer takes a moment to pray to anyone who might be listening that he may survive this outing.
No,
Please,
you
God.
feel like you're going to, and you feel like someone like at a table near is kind of laughing a little, like nothing. No one you see, but you can like, especially Jack, you can feel like this jovialness of someone very entertained by that. You don't see anybody though.
Anyway, look, appreciate you. I found a place that we could set up. The whole idea of me going down there was trying to see if there was an easier way in the building to bypass the scanners. We can't really drive in the building with the stuff because logic dictates that it's going to scan the car coming in. It's going to have a certain weight. Scan the car going out. It's going to have more weight, which is going to alert them that something's going on. So I went underneath to see if there's a way in the building or another way that we can get stuff out. I found something that's right next to the building that we could set a car up there, yeet some stuff over a wall, and get out of there. Quick and easy. I was also looking for a place to plant my demo charges. He says it super, super quietly. Like, as quietly as possible.
Why did you bring those?
I'm
Slide a little bit back from the table.
No,
we have those in my car.
No, easy. This is why I said we don't take my car.
Wait, because you had the demo charges, or because you didn't have them?
Because look, shh, hush.
So you wanted to carry them
Because
in
you had
Arthur's
the
car?
Play-Doh.
You know what? Normally, I've been rolling dice separately.
What does that mean?
One.
Nothing. Feel free.
Look.
You're fascinating, but you may get us killed. I just want you to know those things.
Look, all that stuff is back at my base in my car.
Do you want to give us the address while we're here?
No.
Okay, I'm just curious. I wasn't really sure what the boundaries were. I'm going to be honest.
Number. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I just take a moment? I'd like to say something out of character. Casey, I know I told you were going to make it through at least the first 2 sessions.
What did I do wrong? I gave up any info.
I thought there was a good chance of it.
Didn't we specify like no destruction in when we were agreeing to our contract terms? Was that on the table? Somebody mentioned it.
We did kind
It's
of
supposed to be like quiet steal stuff. Yeah.
This is a quiet in and out.
Look.
What do you think the B&E or the B and B&E stands for, Craig?
Breaking and entering.
Okay, I was just trying to make sure you didn't think it stood for like blow up and enter kind of deal.
Explosion. I don't know what.
Glad we're all on the same page.
Look.
I thought we were talking about
guys,
blowing up an explosive.
Guys. Excuse me.
Booms and explosions.
It would be cool.
Bombs and explosives.
Look,
that was not what B&E means.
Look, I was an EOD tech back in the day. Sometimes the easiest, quickest way to get through a problem is to remove the problem.
Sometimes, sure.
JR stops and interrupts him. It's like you were an EOD tech. Oh, I'm so sorry. They have medicine for that now.
EO. JR! Not.
Even Arthur laughs at that one.
I think Whiskey Jack damn near falls out of his chair because he's He's a sucker for a good joke, and that was good.
How many drinks have you had since I've been here? You just got here. The bike was warm when I walked in.
Were you fondling this man's bike on your way in the door?
It's a nice
I think you have
bike.
to ask permission for.
Not
Prager.
that kind of way, Risky.
Rhubarb, right?
Where's the waitress? I need 7. Just give me Jack all the way around. Whiskey for all my friends. And
Okay.
somebody in the table. Just everybody here. I don't know how much that costs. Just to stop picking on me.
All right.
Sure, let's
So
keep a low profile and buy everybody in the bar drinks.
the waiter will come back. He'll bring you all a shot of whiskey of some kind. Probably not named brand, but
It's well, probably well
but it
whiskey.
burns regardless. And with the information that Krieger has gotten, that the knowledge about there was maybe some kind of spirit involved, that you are to get a list of ingredients, the procedure of mixing, and a sample of the pigment from the location, and then drop it at a dead drop in 36 hours, which the clock on that has started ticking. We will leave it here and come back to this conversation and our plan and our modus, our operating, what we're going to do in 2 weeks.
Oh wow! Lovely. What a great
You
great
rolled
job we
that
did.
whole stack of dice, and it's like, maybe we'll find out in 2 weeks what it was for. Okay.
Like, what is that?
That's-
What is that?
This Shadowrun, baby.
As a
That
player,
stack of
I'm-
dice is the number of people who now know that you're trying to steal something with explosives.
No, the stack of dice knows now that I'm somebody that has weight. Apparently, oh shit, Katrina. Oh no, I just realized what I did. Fuck.
So thank you everybody who has come out and watched our first episode of our new Shadowrun arc. Thank you guys for being here with me. I do totally appreciate it. It has been a lot of fun to play Shadowrun with you guys, and you guys know how much I love Shadowrun. So I'm so glad you're here. High Shelf Things. Wednesday night, Ethan, myself, and Mike will be back to play Brindlewood Bay with Andy and David, where we play, I think we're the Murder Mavens, which makes
You're
it
the
make it
Murder
sound like-
Mavens, and you'll be
Yeah.
taking part in the Great Brindlewood Bay Bake Off.
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
My god.
We're going to have
That's
a
good.
great time. Someone's going to die, and we're going to figure out why.
My Maven
Um,
definitely cannot cook. I'm just gonna make
Mine
that.
can.
I'm just gonna make that super clear right now. Never had kids, traveled for all of the time, so no cooking. Never happened.
Opal has won this thing for like 3 years in a row. Like,
Oh well, this is
oh, this is
like
not that.
British Bake Off comes to town to shoot with local people.
What?
Opal's gonna die. Like, Opal's the one that got murdered just by like her heart having like out of her body.
You know, when you
anyways.
get to a certain age.
So Brindlewood Bay on Wednesday night. Friday night, Ethan will be back with David and Rich and some of our jabroni pals to play original D&D. And then on Saturday, all of us but Casey will be back to play Aegon. Run by
Yeah,
Ethan.
and that's gonna be we're gonna be doing the in between islands part, and I'm gonna see if I can drag that out for a whole 3 hours because
I think you will because we
I
can
think
talk.
that'd be fun.
Yeah, so that's what we got going on in High Shelf Gaming. For
Wait,
the
you
rest
think
of
this crew can talk? What? No.
It's time to share your feelings.
Yay, feelings. Love them. So yeah, everybody, thank you for being here. As always, have fun and play well.
May all your rolls be crids.
Thank you.
Dangerous.
Bye, everyone.